It is fascinating what's going on in the House. At least you wrote about this. We played the clips earlier this week of Burkett getting shoved in the back, and then him implying that maybe Nancy Mace has some dirt on Kevin McCarthy that is specifically Mace-centric. I don't know how else to put that. We saw a senator attempt to challenge a union head to a physical fight, I guess presumably on the in the hearing room floor. And here is we never played this clip of Comer losing it in a government oversight committee hearing because a Democratic congressman, Moskowitz, raised the notion that Comer's entire sort of falling apart narrative on Hunter Biden or the Biden crime family was centered around a $20,000 or $200,000 loan that Biden gave to his brother. And Comer had the exact same thing, except for this supposed loan went, I think, the other direction. And Comer was actually in office when he was doing this, as opposed to Biden, who was out of office at that time. But here's this exchange.
I'm happy to yield you some of my time today, Mr. Chairman, because I think you owe it to the American people to explain why you've gone on Fox News and told people that while the president was out of office, he had a loan with his brother, and in a way they were evading taxes. It has come out in the public that you also do business with your brother with potential loans. And so since you have framed that and manipulated that with the American people, that Joe Biden did something wrong when he wasn't in office, I just would like to know if you would like to use some of my time.
I would love it.
Okay.
You retweeted that story. Completely false. I've never loaned my brother one penny. My father, who was a dentist, had some farmland. He died, and my brother couldn't afford, he wanted to sell it, but he wanted to keep it in the family, so I bought it from my brother. That story that you tweeted also said I had a shell company. That is bullshit. You can come to Monroe County and look at all the land that is titled in that LLC. I think that the problem is, you know, the White House tried to get CNN to write that story. They went around and investigated all this bullshit that Ian Sams is trying to tell people that only dumb, financially illiterate people pick up on, and said that it was a shell company. Because it was an LLC. You're so financially illiterate that you think because something says LLC, it's a shell company. This company, which I financially disclose, has properties, okay? It manages over 1,000 acres of land for hunting purposes. It owns different properties.
I'll pause it for 1 second. I just want to say, let me tell you what's involved in managing hunting land available for hunting purposes. What's available is almost nothing. All you basically do is maybe your buddy calls you and says, "Hey man, I just wanted to let you know. Can I? I'm gonna. Okay, yeah. Just don't forget to park where the truck is, and I'll just make sure that I don't tell my other friend to go hunting." On that day so that you don't shoot each other. But go ahead. The LLC is helpful for that.
Of land for hunting purposes. It owns different properties. I'm one of the largest landowners in my home area.
What?
Okay. I went to the bank and I borrowed money and I bought that land. I didn't get wires from Romania, China. My family doesn't get wires. Okay. Never loaned my brother money, don't have an LLC. But you and Goldman, who is Mr. Trust Fund, continue to try
reclaiming my time.
No, I'm not going to give you your time back. We can stop the clock. you all continue to, you look like a Smurf here, just going around and all this stuff. Now listen,
Mr. Chairman, you have.
I'm going to tell you something.
Hold on. If we're not on time,
spew disinformation.
You have gone on TV and said the president did something illegal. You're doing stuff with your brother. The American people have the same questions. Why should they believe you? Why should they believe you? Why should they believe you? There's a different rule for the president. There's a different rule for you. Why should they believe what you're saying, Mr. Chairman? Why? You go on Fox News and say loans and deals are a way to evade taxes. We don't know that's what you're doing or not. We don't know. We have no idea. We're supposed to take your word for it. But when the president
you've
says
already
something,
been proven a liar, Mr. Moskowitz.
What's that?
You've already been proven a liar.
Who's proven me a liar? You?
Yes.
Your word means nothing, Mr. Chairman.
Go to my hometown. There's a camera crew there today, an opposition research crew there today.
Mr. Chairman, this seems to have gotten under your skin.
I'll pay for your ticket.
I think the American people have lots of questions, Mr. Chairman, and perhaps you should sit maybe for a deposition.
I will be happy. I will sit with Hunter Biden and Jim Biden, and we can go over our LLC.
That'll be great. I'll make sure the ranking member is happy that you'll sit at a table.
Mr. Chairman, I make a point of order that we should return to regular order for the benefit of the other members.
The ranking member makes a good point.
I'll reclaim my time, Mr. Chairman. I'll wrap it up quickly.
All right, I think we don't need any more at that point.
Oh boy. Well, this is very
Smurfs
interesting.
still a thing? I don't know. Like, are there Smurfs anymore?
I think they did do a movie like 10 years ago. So.
Oh God. The thing is about this, and this, what you have to understand is the context is that what Comer has been out there saying that because Joe Biden's family, not him, but his brother and his son and various people who were sort of, invested in the business, had a bunch of shell companies. They were all shell companies, but they were running, and the implication, although he hasn't come right out and said it, but he's pretty much said it, the implication is that they were laundering foreign money through these shell companies to pay off Joe Biden to deliver for the Chinese and the Russian and the Ukrainians and whoever else that he's
presumably if he ever gets back
he's
into
in the
office.
Pocket of. If he ever got back into office someday, then maybe they could get this payoff. Okay. Well, the truth is he's going on and on there in that comment about how his shell company, the hunting, he's got an LLC and it's a perfectly legitimate LLC because he has hunting land. All the businesses that the Bidens had are also legitimate companies.
Of course.
They went and looked at them. They weren't shell companies. They're people working. They've got offices. They've got websites. They've got everything. It's not just some made up thing. By the way, there is someone who has a lot of shell companies, and his name is Donald Trump, and he's on trial right now for some of that activity. So, this is completely ridiculous. And what Comer is saying is just, it's not borne out by the facts. This land swap thing that he did with his brother is very, very much in line with, the kind of shady activity that people do when they're trying to avoid taxes and gift taxes and things like that, inheritance taxes. This is what we're talking about. So he went off on Moskowitz there, who I thought, and he has tweeted some very amusing stuff about Smurfs since then, by the way, that they're really funny if anybody wants to look. And Comer is determined to, spread this innuendo about the, Biden and his family and his son. We all know what that's about. And in fact, this is all in service of this ongoing impeachment inquiry that they're doing, which now is going full steam ahead. They can't fund the government. They can't even get a spending bill to the floor. They spent all week fighting amongst themselves, elbowing each other in the kidneys. Was it clean shot to the kidneys that Bert had said? He got a clean shot to the kidneys. And this guy Mark Wayne Mullen over in the Senate threatening to he not only threatened the Teamster president. Said, let's, come on, you ready to go, get your butt up and all that stuff. He's been all over TV and he's saying stuff like, I don't just hit, I bite. So apparently he is threatening to bite the Teamster president. This is the kind of lunacy that's going on. And yet they cannot get any spending bill. They can't get it to the floor. It's not just that they can't pass it. they can't, they cannot get past the procedure to actually get it to the floor, because either the moderates are rebelling because it's some draconian freak show that they don't want to be responsible for, or, of course, most of the time it's the Freedom Caucus members who feel like it's not draconian enough. So, there's 12 days left in the year, left in the session for the year, and then they come back and this whole thing's going to happen again. They will have accomplished nothing because they can't do anything. But what they can do, apparently, is they can impeach Joe Biden, and that is what they're going to be working on. They've now subpoenaed Hunter Biden, James Biden, president's brother, and a business associate of theirs by the name of Walker. And they've been subpoenaed to come and appear like week after next. Walker's going to appear, and then right on the heels of that, it'll be James and then Hunter. Of course, this will be a big TV show. We'll all be watching, get out the popcorn. And this is what they're going to do. Now, Mike Johnson, the theocrat, who, Mr. Morality, has made it clear. I mean, in private closed-door session at one point, he was reported to have said, maybe we don't need to do the impeachment because Joe Biden's already been weakened enough, and maybe we don't need to do it. But Jim Jordan and the rest of them, they're determined. They want to do it, and they need their show, and they need to get their Fox News hits and do all that. So they're going to do it, and Mike Johnson is now behind it. He put out a statement saying it's been proven, it's been shown that, Joe Biden is correct. The shell companies, he brought that up again, which is a total red herring. And it's been shown to do all these things. And so now we have to go forward. So essentially, I mean, these Republicans believe that somehow it's in their interest to fail to do any kind of governing at all, pass a budget, but the impeachment of Joe Biden will, somehow work to their advantage. And maybe it will. I mean, I don't even know.
I actually think it's going to be the opposite, frankly. I think the best thing that could happen to Joe Biden at this point is for them to move forward with this impeachment stuff. I mean, and then here's Representative Chip Roy from Texas. And he's mad. He's real mad.